Good morning, everybody. The time is 9:36 a.m. I would like to call to order this meeting of the Alameda County Healthy Homes Lead Poisoning Prevention Program's Joint Powers Authority. This meeting is being conducted in a hybrid format, and members of the public who wish to join us can do so by participating at Emeryville City Hall at 1333 Park Avenue, or you can join via remote and teleconference participation using the link provided for in today's agenda or by phone with the dial-in number also on the agenda. This time I'll ask if Ladise would please take the roll.
Director Hardy, Director Miley, Director Vela,
Present.
Director Winruff, Director Gallo,
Present.
Director Bowders.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Ladise. Now is the time for public comment. A member of the public wishing to give comment for an item not on this agenda and within the jurisdiction of the agency will have 2 minutes to give comment. Seeing no people present, Ladise, did we receive any written comments for today's meeting?
No comments.
Comment is now closed. Turn to item 3, which is the consent calendar. There was a meeting minutes of December 21st, 2023. Members, are there any corrections, edits, or requests regarding the minutes? Seeing none, is there any comment on the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion on the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Vela, second by Gallo to approve the minutes. Please call the roll.
Director Hardy. Are you approving them? Yes, okay. Hardy, aye. Director Miley, Director Vela,
Aye.
Vela, aye. Director Winruff, Director Gallo,
Aye.
Gallo, aye. Director Bowders.
Aye.
Bowders, aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. The minutes are approved. Item 4 is the director's report, and I see we have April today.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
April Williamson, Assistant Deputy Director. I'll be standing in for Larry this morning. And just a note about Larry, he sits on the Board of Directors for the California Association of Code Enforcement Officers, or CASIO as he's referenced, which typically holds its quarterly meetings on Fridays, but due to some conflicting schedules, they're holding their first meeting of the new year today. And because of CASIO's recent endeavor to provide lead safety trainings to all of its members, over 1,700, through a new partnership with EPA, it was very important to have Director Brooks attend. He will report back to you on the results of the meeting in February. The director's report this morning will focus on the year-to-date assessments and interventions Director Bowders inquired about in the December meeting. Through December, we'd only achieved 35% of our goal. As Ladise mentioned, there had been a delay in finalizing the contract with the City of Oakland, which did contribute to the low number of 35%. We have since had that contract approved in addition to the Union City contract, which is almost approved, which will help bump those numbers. But I wanted to also share some recruitment and production challenges we're also encountering with 2 of the housing programs, specifically lead hazard control and minor home repair in the urban and unincorporated county, and our plans to address those challenges. In terms of recruitment, as always with many of our programs, the challenge is getting the word out to more people that can benefit from our services. For the minor home repair programs, recruiting low-income homeowners in the urban county cities of Dublin, Emeryville, Albany, Newark is a challenge because they have to be low-income homeowners. In the unincorporated county, more effort for lead hazard control, the program is not as attractive to many who choose to do the repairs themselves as opposed to utilizing the assistance from the grant. We find that more direct contact with the community where outreach staff is able to talk directly to the community about the benefits of the program and explain to them and take time with them and answer questions is actually beneficial to getting them enrolled and interested in the program. So for the minor home repair programs, we're looking to partner with organizations who provide support and services to the older adult population, because those are more likely to be homeowners who meet the income requirements. And we're looking at partnering with the Council for Age-Friendly Communities, which we also are concurrently partnering with, in addition to adding some collaborations efforts with the Center for Elders Independence, as well as other organizations such as Meals on Wheels. We'll step up our efforts to request presentations at senior centers, which was a wonderful inroad to our recruitment to the programs. But since COVID, we've continued to have some resistance from older adults to gather in person. So, and I'll address some of the action items we're going to take towards that. In addition to some specific outreach strategies that Sony and Yvette mentioned in their presentation last month, we'll continue to work collaboratively with schools, churches, and community-based organizations, as well as continue our media outreach. Some of the additional opportunities for outreach that I want to outline for you today is instituting the quarterly online webinars to share information and resources for those that don't want to meet in person. So we'll have those standing webinars for all types of subjects, including lead and some other healthy housing topics, as well as our programs. We've just instituted a mass mailing specifically targeted for 2 of our programs, and we're looking at the return on that to see if we want to invest in that again, because basically there's certain populations that like to get their information in the mail. Using word of mouth and testimonials, we know that hearing about services from trusted sources engages more people to contact us. So we've asked clients to post information about our department on their email groups or Nextdoor accounts. We're looking at partnering with El Timpano to send out our program information via text, because we heard many people are very text heavy in getting their information. We'll be ramping up our medical provider outreach, presentations to medical providers, as well as posting department information in their waiting rooms. Coming up in the late spring, we'll be doing a push for outreach to center-based and home-based daycares, as well as ongoing collaborations with 4Cs, Bananas, Hively, those sort of organizations. In addition, we're looking into working with title companies to include information into new owners of old homes. On the production side, as I mentioned, those are some of the solutions for the recruitment. On the production side, specifically for lead hazard control. So let me just pause for a second. Once we recruit for the minor home repair programs, those tend to move fairly smoothly. It's the recruitment that's the challenge. On lead hazard control, there's also some challenges in the production end. What we're seeing is that the housing issues that the staff is encountering are more complex. They take more time to conduct assessments, and sometimes there's a need to reschedule appointments over and over again. In addition, after COVID, the landlord-tenant relationships are more challenging to navigate, making it more difficult to obtain needed documentation. Also, many people are very concerned about disclosing personal information, because we do have to collect income documentation and other personal information, but they're more concerned about disclosing that information due to the uptick of scams that have multiplied during the pandemic. So what we're needing to do is many times have staff go out to the homes and talk to them personally, showing ID and talking them into providing that income documentation, which is meaning that the projects are taking longer to complete. So we're addressing this by bringing in former staff who've worked these programs as retired annuitants to help move these projects along in addition to current staff. We've also looked at, retooled our intake process to assist callers with completing the paperwork with them online, on phone, and being able to talk to them very specifically about their properties. So since last December, we've started to see an uptick in applications and inquiries since January 1st. And along with the strategies I've mentioned, we're encouraged to see increased recruitment and production over the coming months. That's the director's.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on the director's report?
No public comment.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff on the director's report? Okay, thank you so much. That will turn us to the monthly report.
I have nothing to report for the monthly report.
Okay, are there any questions or comments on the monthly report, which is attached to the agenda packet for today? Is there any public comment on the monthly report?
No public comment.
Okay, future agenda items. Is there anybody who has a future agenda item request? Director Vella.
So I appreciate that we're doing outreach to the home-based childcare facilities. I do think it would be helpful to get an update from staff, maybe an agenda item on what that outreach results in, if there's inquiries where they need assistance or where they're requesting assistance, and what the feedback from that outreach is. I know that that's something that we've struggled, I don't want to say struggled with, but something that we've been focused on is figuring out how to improve communications there and make sure that they're making use of the resources that are available.
Is there a majority support for that as a future agenda item? Yes, seeing yes. Okay, it's a future agenda item. Just to be clear on that, what is the time frame for getting the completion of that outreach done?
We won't start the home-based childcare probably until early summer.
And then it's like, it's going to be an ongoing thing?
It's ongoing. It's going to
Okay.
be ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I think, I mean, even if we get it essentially in late fall of like,
Okay.
here's the update, like sometime in November, I think
Okay.
that would be sufficient and helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, one second. I'd like to ask that in the minutes that you put it as a November request so that it's just calendared as a future agenda item for November so that we have and then one other thing, when we do the agenda, I can talk to you offline, but when we have an agenda item request for the future that's not the next month, a practice here in our city is we actually keep it on the agenda below that is like in parentheses, we say update on outreach, and then we have November 24, so that people know that their ask is still recognized, and it just sits on the agenda until we've taken it off. So that we don't have to keep asking, did we agree to do that? And when? You just placeholder it. Thank you.
Yes, I would like to request that we get a future update or an update on the cities that we're involved in terms of the relationship, the working, the improvements, the challenges, everything from the city of Oakland, Berkeley, and so forth. Where are we in terms of that relationship for the coming year?
Okay.
That we need to provide support to you or, be able to seek the city's cooperation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, were there any announcements by members of the board? Happy New Year. It's like the end of January, but it is the new year. It's our first meeting. So Happy New Year. Welcome back to staff. And wow, y'all, I don't think we've ever done it this fast. It's an 11-minute meeting. 9:47, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did I talk too fast?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
I knew I
that is not you at all. Like Larry can go on sometime.